we have the short Dia De Muertos event in Pokemon Go, so I'm gonna give you the top tips to help you guys make sure to maximize out on this event so you guys don't miss out on anything. So this event is gonna go down on November 1st at 10 a.m. and it's gonna go all the way till 8 p.m. on November 2nd. We have a brand new shiny costume Pokemon coming out, which is going to be Duskull, and it actually evolves with its costume and shiny evolution. So good luck everybody out there, especially all you shiny hunters. And I just want to give a big shout out to Liquid IV for sponsoring this video. Let's check it out. Liquid IV, have you heard of it? Well, if you haven't, now is the time that you do hear about it, because this amazing electrolyte drink mix is going to bring 2 times faster hydration than just drinking water alone. So as you guys do know that I am very about my health, I am very about nutrition and making sure that the body is properly fueled and hydrated. And one of those things is making sure to take in the right amount of electrolyte mix. And Liquid IV is going to definitely provide that for you guys. One of my favorite things to use this is when I'm playing Pokemon Go, because Pokemon Go is us outside exploring. When you explore and you're outside, you do sweat, you perspire. When you perspire, you are actually losing some of your electrolytes. So when you just drink water alone, guess what happens? You're not replenishing as many electrolytes as you are sweating out when you are doing some type of activity like this. So Liquid IV is going to satisfy that by providing 2 times faster hydration than just drinking water alone. So what are you waiting for? Now is the time to try Liquid IV. It's going to help you feel more hydrated, to help you feel more balanced, and give you more stamina throughout the day, especially on those days that are going to be demanding a little bit more strenuous exercise. So if you want to try these liquid hydration multipliers, click my link in the comments below, or you can use the code TheTrainerClub for 20% off and free shipping. You heard that here right, 20% off and free shipping. So make sure to get your Liquid IV today to keep you hydrated whenever you are out and about, including when you're playing Pokemon Go. And as far as the bonuses go, we have 2 things that are going on and then a second. So number 1 is going to be lure modules are going to be activated for 90 minutes. Yes, 90 minutes, 3 times the amount of normal, which is fantastic because I just love seeing lure modules going strong in places. For me personally, I just absolutely love to see it. I don't know about you guys. Number 2, incense is also going to be lasting 90 minutes, which I'm always a fan of having a little bit extra time whenever you have an incense. As you do see when I talk about calm days and I tell you guys, hey, if you are doing this, you might as well do extra time on the incense and get 24 hours worth for only 8. And then finally we have double catch candy. And then we are going to have spawns, raids, field research, and more. So with all that said, let's jump into tip. Tip number 1 is going to be talking all about our wild spawns. So the Pokemon that are going to be spawning in the wild, and we will breach a couple of these Pokemon that will be relatively effective in PvP that we will also talk about as always here. So the number 1 Pokemon that's going to be spawning is Cubone. Cubone goes into Marowak. Also has the Alolan form, but unfortunately you cannot evolve this one into that. The Alolan Marowak is the PvP heavy Pokemon there. And next we have Chinchou that does have a shiny. Chinchou going into Lantern is actually going to be pretty good in PvP. It's going to be ranked 27 with Spark, Thunderbolt, and Surf, and the 100% PvP IV is a 0-13-14. And the next Pokemon is going to be Sunkern. Sunkern does have a shiny, and the next one is going to be Roselia with a shiny. This Pokemon is actually one of the top 10 grass attackers in the game, so it's a pretty good budget attacker. Are there better budget attackers? Yes, there are, but this one does do really well. In the grass category, this Pokemon is actually going to be ranked 16th overall, so there are Megas that are better, obviously. There are Shadows that are better, but without the Shadows and without the Megas, it is going to be ranked 6th overall, which is pretty good. So if you think about it, Shadows cost a premium to power up, obviously, so you can power up those, but then also they have the budget counters, which are budget for a reason, and Roserade is definitely one of them. And then we have Litwick as well as Swirlix. Both of them do have shinies. Swirlix is one of the rarer shinies of this event, so definitely make sure to get after there, hunt those Swirlix, and try to get that shiny because it was released in the Sapporo Go Fest, and most people did not attend that event. And then we have some rarer spawns as well. We have the Crown Duskull, which has the flowers. We have the Drifloon as well as the Yamask. So Drifloon going into Drifblim does do pretty well in some cups. However, overall it is ranked 127, but I'm going to give you the IVs anyway. For the Great League, it's going to be ranked 157 at a 0-15-12. And then in the Ultra League, it is going to be ranked 109 at a 1-15-15, and that's all the way at level 50. So that Pokemon will need 296 XL candy. So if you don't have it, that would definitely be it. So beyond this, there's not really too many other meta attackers here, but I want to give you guys a recommendation as far as a Mega goes and as far as what may serve you the best here. here. In my personal opinion, I would rock a Ghost Mega, something like a Mega Banette. More importantly, Mega Gengar does work really well here because the Gengar is also going to multi-purpose that Roselia that is a grass and a poison type. But you can obviously use other Pokemon in here, but for me, my purpose and what hits the most here for me, that's what makes the most sense. But if there are other Pokemon that you do need, such as maybe like a Fairy, you want the Squirrelix for whatever reason to go to level 50, make sure to do your Megas as appropriately, which is then going to lead us to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to be an incense and lore module spawn tip. So here, most of the spawns are the same. We still have the Cubone, we have the Sunkern, but we also have the Sunflora in there. And Sunflora is going to be a Stardust boosted Pokemon as it is a second evolution going from the Sunkern into the Sunflora. So that is definitely a Pokemon to look out for. And then we have Roselia, Drifloon, Yamask, as well as Swirlix. And then we have Houndoom as well as the Duskull. So Duskull can be spawning here. And I just want to point this out that if you are in Latin America, you are going to have an increased spawn capacity for these spawns because it is a more celebrated event in these cultures, right? So I just want to let you guys know that that is going to be a thing. But the Houndoom is also a second tier evolution Pokemon, and it does have Mega Houndoom, which is a pretty effective dark type attacker. Strongest dark type in the game right now. The Mega Tyranitar will take its spot once it is ready, and then we will definitely have probably some other Pokemon that are going to give it a good run for its money. So with that said, let's get into tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be talking about the field research related to this event, and is there anything that's going to be worth noting. Number 1, we have Make a Great Throw, which is going to be a Cubone encounter. 436 is the 100% IV. And the next is going to be Make a Nice Curveball Throw, which can either be a Roselia and a Litwick. Both of these Pokemon do have shinies. 801 100% IV on the Roselia and 431 on the Litwick. Win a Gym Battle is going to be a Houndoom encounter. 1129, and the Houndoom is a second tier evolution Pokemon. That is a great Pokemon. This is a great task, guys. Amazing task because of Dratini Day with the increased Stardust. So getting as many encounters from field research as possible is very important here, and then giving them a golden raspberry and running away to make it easier to catch on Dratini Day is a very important thing here. And then we have make 3 great curveball throws in a row, which is going to be a Duskull encounter. 302 is the 100% IV. Not really super important there, but what is important is that it does have the shiny out there for all you custom hunters, which then leads to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be all about the raid battles. So we do have the Duskull in the raid battles. I would suggest if you guys aren't going to hunt it in raids, which I'm not really the biggest fan of, even though I do hear a lot of people say that they get more shinies from the raids, I would suggest that you guys at least do one of these because the costume does count as a unique raid badge, right? It does count towards that. Number 2, we have 3-star raids, which are going to include Dragonite, Sableye, as well as Druddigon. Druddigon is one of those shinies coming from raids that is very desirable for some people. Dragonite is going to be a tier 3 evolution, meaning it is the 3rd evolution. Dragonite coming from Dratini and Dragonair into Dragonite. But guys, this weekend is going to be the Dratini Day, which tomorrow we will have the tips for. And guess what? We're gonna get way more than enough XL candy during that day, so we do not need to raid for this Pokemon. Sableye is a Stardust boosted Pokemon. And then finally, we have Giratina Origin Form. If you guys do want to see the counter guide, you can check it out up here. That one does have a shiny. And then Mega Banette will be here, and both of those will be here all the way till the 8th. And then they are changing over in the month of November, like we did talk about earlier today. And then finally, we have a collection challenge. All you basically have to do is catch one of the Pokemon each that are spawning, which is very, very easy, obviously. And then finally, you're going to get a Poffin as well as an Alolan Marowak encounter. And an Incense for you guys to run for 90 minutes if you want, or you could save it for Dratini Day that's coming up this weekend if you are not a spender in Pokemon Go. So this event is short, sweet, simple. There are some cool spawns. The number 1 focus is going to be Duskull for the shiny with the costume. The number 2 focus, in my opinion, is going to be the Houndoom field research task to get you more Stardust on Dratini Day. And then obviously the next weekend as well as also a Stardust boosted Day. So we have 2 Stardust boosted Days coming up for all of you guys. So thank you guys for being here as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes their support, subscription, and participation to us. So we'll see you guys out on the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.